This is Meadowvale Cemetery Chapel in Brampton, where the sunrise service got underway at 7:55 this morning. This one again organized by the City of Brampton, and the Mayor of Brampton, Patrick Brown, joins us live here on Remembrance Day on CP24 Breakfast. Mayor Brown, I appreciate you joining us this morning here. I understand that the service has taken place here this morning. Can you talk a bit about the connection here and how residents of Brampton are honoring people here on Remembrance Day?
Well, this is an annual tradition we have in Brampton where we have a sunrise ceremony, and we have really a tribute to veterans, to those that we have this debt of gratitude for. And we do it at the Korean War Memorial, which is set up at the Meadowvale Cemetery, particularly for those who served in the Korean War from the Canadian Forces. Then, of course, later today, we're going to have the ceremony at our cenotaph in downtown Brampton. But this is a tradition that we have every year on Remembrance Day at sunrise.
Mayor, these are important traditions indeed. There's a new poll out today suggesting that fewer Canadians this year are going to be sort of marking Remembrance Day than even they did a year ago, about 7% less, according to this poll. I wonder, as a politician, what your take is on that fewer people are actually going to be paying tribute and sort of offering remembrance today.
Well, that would be disappointing. I think this is part of our history, part of who we are in Canada. The freedoms we enjoy are because of the sacrifice of those who have served and paid the ultimate sacrifice. I was talking to my kids this morning, and they're having a Remembrance Day ceremony at their school, and they're asking questions about it. And I think it's important that the next generation, that children learn about how important November 11th is. And so if that poll is accurate, then I think it's a reminder to all of us that we have to do more to remember our history and to remember those who showed the highest degrees of valor for the country that we enjoy today.
And I know you and your family have just welcomed another child, so congratulations on that, Mayor. I wonder where your thoughts do go today. We've been asking our viewers this morning to share, personal stories, familial stories of sacrifice or people who've served, or if you're just more generally thinking about, the Canadians, Bramptonians, etc., who've served our country presently and in the past.
I have a lot of thoughts on Remembrance Day. I think of, my grandfather and great uncle that were part of the Canadian Forces. My great uncle served in the campaign in Italy. My grandfather worked on the tanks at Base Borden, and they're no longer with us, but I certainly think of them on November 11th. And frankly, more recent veterans. We had a ceremony at our cenotaph last year, and I remember one of the speeches about newer veterans who served in Afghanistan and what they saw and the burden that they carry. And so I think there's a lot of components to Remembrance Day. Of course, those that sacrificed in the Great Wars, but also those who have made contributions to the Canadian Forces more recently.
Absolutely. And of course, this year is significant, 80 years since the end of the Second World War here. That is really a major milestone. And, you think about the, hundreds of thousands of Canadian soldiers now down to less than, 3,700 or so. I wonder if your thoughts on that, the end of the Second World War, and the contributions Canadians, of course, made to that effort.
Yeah, and of course, with time, we see fewer and fewer veterans from the Second World War who are able to share their stories and be part of this ceremony. And really, it was a pivotal moment in human history. And so I think as we mark this 80th anniversary, it's important to tell their stories, to share those stories of courage and valor and dedication, and to really explain to the next generation that the freedom we enjoy today is not free, but it was born by the sacrifice of heroes before us.
Yeah, lest we forget, indeed. Okay, that is Brampton Mayor Patrick Brown joining us live this morning on Remembrance Day. Mayor Brown, appreciate the time. Thank you.